It's not live.
Wow. Okay. Hey.
Oh. Hey,
What? What? You can't do that.
why?
All right.
What do I
You
do?
can't say wow after my hey.
Why can't I?
All right. Let's try one more time.
Okay, oh, just one more?
Let's get these heys correctly.
Okay, okay.
All right. Hey.
Hey.
Welcome. I don't like the welcome. You're listening to The Snack, a micro podcast where in 15 minutes we run down a list of topics in pop culture, technology, design, food, and just things that annoy us. You never know what you're going to get. We might even have snacks.
We don't
We're
have
your hosts.
snacks.
I'm Jordan.
We don't have snacks today, but I'm Victor.
We don't
And
need
on
snacks.
today's cast, we're going to talk about cool stuff like MSG and things like Seattle and how Sarah Palin endorsed Trump. And then we'll have an update on that wonderful hydro flask that I've been talking about for the past several months. Just look at our archives. You'll see. You'll see.
Mhm.
So let's get started. All right. So Jordan, for our main dish today, we're going to
Yes.
talk about MSG headaches and the nocebo effect. And
The
this was
nocebo
inspired by an article that I read about a week and a half ago. This was on the lovely 538.com by Nate Silver and a lot of other columnists, including one guy who went to William and Mary. I sent him an email just kind of asking him who he was and whether he'd like to email back and forth. He didn't respond. That was about 3 months ago. So
You
the
know what?
article, what?
He's going to regret not responding to us.
Okay,
Because we're going to blow up and he's going to be like, I wish my article was featured on The
you're
Snack.
right. You're right.
Yeah.
So the article was called "How MSG Got a Bad Rap: Flawed Science and Xenophobia," and
Yeah.
basically the gist is there's been no proven correlation between MSG and any sort of bad symptom when the participants in the study didn't know that they were eating MSG. And that's the
Right.
flawed science part. Is in the 70s and 80s when they were testing this, they found that there was a link because they told the people that they were eating MSG. So that's that's the effect that we're going to talk about. And the xenophobia is just about how people just got scared of the Chinese people and the Asian people in the kitchens with this magical white substance, and they're dangerous and exotic cuisines, and so
Yeah.
they just didn't want anything to do with it, and then came up with symptoms to try to get away with it. So, what any preliminary thoughts, Jordan? What'd you find out in your research?
I found out a lot of things.
That's good.
Yeah, and I don't know. It was interesting to read about all the things, I think. But what I found one little thing that like MSG is not used in most authentic Chinese foods. Just a fun fact, most Chinese cooks do not use MSG. I read that and I copied it down. I thought it was good.
Okay.
But what was really interesting to me is that actually most foods,
Yeah,
not most, a lot of foods that people are eating
they
have
naturally
some
have it.
sort of have it in it.
Yeah,
Some sort of what does MSG stand for?
monosodium glutamate.
Monosodium glutamate. The glutamate is in all different types of foods.
Exactly.
For instance, it's in I had a list somewhere. Ah, it's in
Well,
it's like canned tuna. It's in
yeah.
that. It's in like vegetable broths, the
Mhm.
chicken broths. It's in a lot of those things to give it this like meaty flavor.
Umami.
Yeah, the umami. I said
Umami
that
is
today.
great.
They were questioning me. But
You
anyway,
said that to who?
I said it today in conversation. And people were
Oh,
like, "What the fuck are you saying?"
oh, uncultured slobs.
I know. I have other things, but I would like for you to talk first.
Okay. Well, looking just more stuff on the history of MSG. Just the chemical substance has been used for hundreds of years.
Mhm.
However, the production and manufacture of high glutamate food for consumption it dates back to the mid 5500s BC in China. So this is
Mm.
not a new thing. People have always enjoyed having that kind of earthy, meaty, deeper, rich texture and food like mouthfeel of umami. Um, but the nocebo effect is a phenomenon in which inert substances, and this is a dictionary definition, or mere suggestions of substances actually bring about negative effects in a person. But
Mhm.
basically, I think what that means is when you tell someone that bad side effects or something is going to happen, then they believe it. It's what the placebo is. Only a placebo is actually a good thing, and
Right.
nocebo is bad. And this is allegedly due to some sort of combination of Pavlovian conditioning and just general reactions to expectations. And there's some pretty cool examples of this. Pretty cool meaning like kind of impressive, but also very, just kind of sad. So on this nice article that I found in the Smithsonian, actually,
Ooh.
the nocebo effect might actually be powerful enough to kill. In one case study, so they didn't actually do this, keep in mind, so one man tried to commit suicide by swallowing 26 pills. Those 26 pills were actually sugar pills, placebo tablets, like there was actually nothing in them. But he thought that he would die from it, and he took such a high dose, again, of nothing that was actually harmful, that he actually started experiencing very low blood pressure, and he needed injections of fluids to be stabilized. And this was just based on the belief. And once they told him that the pills didn't do anything, he returned to just healthy levels rather quickly. Interesting.
Wow. No, the nocebo effect is powerful.
Wow, 5 minutes.
Oh, wow. I have some other things to say. It's back to the like what things are in these, or what glutamate is in these foods. It's in cheese and goldfish crackers and low-fat yogurts. Most Americans are using it at home when they're cooking it, and most of them are eating it in different like snacked foods packages and stuff. Also, the World Health Organization, the Food and Agricultural Organization of the United States, and another organization that I can't think, the FDA, have not found
I was going to say
that,
the DOD.
the DOD too, and the Department of Defense and Homeland
The
Security have
DOD
all
and the
found.
Department of Defense. Okay.
Yeah, well, they're two different things. The DOD is actually
Ah.
does not stand for Department of Defense.
Dogs. Ducks.
Dogs.
Donuts.
No, dogs.
Dungarees.
I can't think of what it stands for. I'm not very
Dungarees.
fast right now, but
Okay.
yeah, they all came to the same
So,
conclusion.
listeners, Jordan's on his A game right now.
Yeah,
Hitting
I'm
the best.
very much so. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. But what I also thought was interesting is that someone from, I don't want to name their name, but they're at the University of Florida. So basically, you could just look this up later. But they actually have
Tim Tebow?
studied sensory effects,
Okay.
and they believe that MSG actually is harmful to health. And it's just
Really?
weird that they think this, and they're in the Center for Smell and Taste.
Yes.
But it's just interesting that people actually believe
Okay.
this.
Yeah.
For me, I just eat it because it tastes good. I don't really care.
Yeah. As a kid, I used to add it to eggs.
I mean, I've actually never seen like just MSG things.
It's you might think it's salt at first, then you look at it, then it's larger and flatter.
Mm-hmm. Well,
But
like
very-
because I heard you like sprinkle it on. Like
Yeah.
some Chinese cooks actually do sprinkle it on after. What I also thought was interesting is that when the no MSG signs were coming up on menus and in Chinese restaurants,
Yeah.
they actually they kept using it anyway.
Yep. And
I thought that was awesome.
that's part of the nocebo effect.
Yeah.
Is that just because people thought that they were going to a safe place, they they thought they were fine.
Yeah.
Another thing about Asian restaurants that's great. You know how there's low sodium soy sauce bottles? That's just
Yeah.
regular soy sauce.
Oh gosh.
Oh,
Ruining
that's one of
everything
my
for
favorite
us.
things. One of my favorite things. Yeah, so there's also such thing as the Chinese restaurant syndrome, which is really
Yes.
what we're talking about, but that's kind of the societal name that was given to it. And what's interesting is this guy, his name was Robert Homan Kwok, and he said that he experienced back pains and palpitations from eating Chinese food for about 2 hours with little hangover effect. And he didn't say it was due to MSG. He said it was possibly due to MSG, but could have been due to alcohol used during cooking, like cooking wine. It could have been due to sodium, but the one that people latched onto was MSG.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
I think it's because they at that time they wanted to blame someone.
Yes. This was
And who's
in the
better to
late
blame? Who's better to blame than the newest arrivals? Actually, they
Yes.
weren't that new,
Not
but
at
like,
that time.
but like, better to blame than immigrants.
Still exotic. Yes, immigrants.
Yeah, the exotics.
You know what? And moving on to our next topic, speaking of immigrants,
Oh,
we're going to actually skip a topic.
okay.
We'll come back to that because it doesn't work very well for this transition. Donald Trump was endorsed by Sarah Palin the other day. How do you feel?
I feel great.
Do you?
I feel like it's just two really stupid people,
Yep.
having a little party together.
Yep.
The scary part is when other stupid people come together and then they form a collective.
Yes.
So that's kind of scary.
Yes, it is.
But I think it's hilarious that Palin, obviously, I mean, I didn't think she was in politics anymore. I thought she just, stopped. Maybe would have a reality television show.
Hunted moose.
Yeah, see in Russia.
Yeah,
But
exactly. See in Russia, that's a national pastime.
it is. Um, but it's interesting that she just came back and was like, I'm endorsing Trump. But
Yep.
also, my question is, like, I can understand that her endorsement actually is pretty important, but why?
What do you mean why?
Because, like, she didn't win.
No, she didn't.
She's no longer in politics, really. Like, she
She's
could
been out for
be
a while.
right. And no offense, but she was only the governor of Alaska.
Yes.
What are they doing for me?
Well, they're delivering some delicious salmon to you. They're knocking on your door right now. Oh, that's another. We got 5 minutes left, Jordan.
Oh, no.
Okay. Anyway, I mean, I think it's important because she tapped into a fan base that people didn't really know was there, and it's some kind of the same one that Trump is trying to tap into. So it's important to them, and it's important to the rest of us, just because of how crazy it all seems.
Like I said, two idiots having a party.
Yeah, and it's great. It's great. It's fun until he wins.
Until he wins. Oh my God. I oh
Oh, you
oh
can't even talk.
no
Okay.
no.
So the next topic that we're going to go on, SpaceX launched yet another rocket, and they tried to get it to
Another
land
one.
on sea this time on a platform called. Just read the
Mhm.
instructions, and it failed because one of the legs that were supposed to support the rocket as it was touching down and kind of propelling itself broke and then the ship, and then the rocket toppled over and kind
Damn.
of blew up.
You know,
So
it seems like a failure, but like I'm learning in my innovation class,
iterations, man.
yeah, iterations. And I am just proud of SpaceX. They keep doing it.
Yeah,
And I think
they
they're getting
are.
closer and closer.
They are getting closer because this.
And like literally all the problem was a little leg.
Yeah, just a little leg.
Easily fixable, I think.
Yes.
So go SpaceX. Go Elon.
Go Elon. You're right.
It's almost like the snack has to have an Elon topic just once every week.
I think it does.
Yeah.
I think it does, and I don't have a problem with that. Do
Neither
you?
do I. I'm fine
Okay,
with
we
that.
have roughly 2.5 minutes left.
Oh no!
Over winter break, I took a trip to Seattle and Portland with a friend of mine, and it was really cool. What was cool about Portland is that there was no sales tax, so the price you saw was the price you paid, and that was great. I like that a lot.
That's good. So is there no sales tax, or do they like just factor it into the price?
I have no idea, but I'm told that they have a pretty high income tax.
Hmm.
But
Because I know, like at King's Dominion, they just make the prices. They like move it down. They
yeah,
factor out all the things and make it so it's just an even number.
I've always wanted places in Richmond to price their stuff at a strange price, like 374, so that it went up to 4.
Yeah, me too. And I just pay that.
Yeah,
I
but
don't have to worry about change.
okay, rainy in Seattle. It was when I went to Seattle. It was just super rainy, but it didn't seem like a very big deal, and the people seem to be going about their day. So that's just an observation. I
Yeah.
also got a tiny little tin of salt so that I can unnecessarily salt things and be super obnoxious. So I'm pretty happy to get started with that.
Did you also get other spices or just salt?
Nope, just little salt things.
Interesting. When you
Up
say
to what?
tiny tins, I'm confused.
Oh, tiny tin. Well, you can't really, viewers, you can't really see it, but it's about 2 inches by 1 inch.
Oh, I see. It's like about the size of a pack of matchsticks,
Yes,
a matchstick
minute
box.
left.
Yeah.
Okay,
Easy.
so I forgot. These are some bites. Update on that beautiful hydro flask that I kept talking about. I actually haven't used it in about 3 months because mold started growing in it.
Ah.
And we're on to our caffeine portion. Jordan, take it away.
I just think it's great that Starbucks. I never realized this until I took one of my business classes this week. That Starbucks has this like niche area of like the middle ground where you have these meetings and stuff
30
between
seconds.
work and home.
Yep,
What'd you say?
30 seconds.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's all I have to say. I think it's great. Starbucks is cool.
I went to the first Starbucks. I don't know what you would have expected. I expected a little bit more. It's just a plain old store. It's not that exciting. And in Portland, coffee stirs are actually real spoons, like long spoons, and there's a jar that says like unused and used, and then you just use it and then put it in the other one. It was just kind of cool.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Coffee. Can you actually taste the difference? I think sometimes I can't, and then other times I can. It's really weird. But
Oh,
like I
one
can't taste
minute.
the difference. I
Sorry,
really
I
know I
must.
don't like dark roast versus
Mistimed
like a
it.
light roast. That's it.
I mistimed it. We actually have a minute left.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll keep going.
Okay.
Um, I don't know. I just sometimes I can't like if you tell me this is a great roast from some local coffee shop
Yeah.
and like from Colombia or something or
Colom.
whatever, I'll be like, I don't taste the difference. I'm sorry.
Did you
Also,
say?
probably a factor because I put in like half a cup of
Yeah.
cream.
Did you say
But
that you can tell when it's dark and light?
I can tell when it's dark and light.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I can't admit to really knowing coffee quality, but when there's a distinct flavor that I'm supposed to taste, then I usually do taste it. Whether it's like chocolate or something super fragrant or,
Interesting.
you know.
I've never had a chocolate. I mean, I've never had like weird of coffees, to be honest.
Right. And then lastly, coffee roast and caffeine. I was told that the lighter the roast, the more caffeine that is, but that's not true. Just
What?
coffee varies. And that's all the time we have on the snack.
The snack.
That was our 15 minutes. Join us again next week when we talk about something about Elon Musk,
Yeah.
obviously. Maybe a
Have
little
to.
bit more about Trump. We're not sure what our main dish is, but you have something.
Yeah.
Please submit. Thank you
You have
to our
something?
sponsor,
Oh, yes.
Kava.
Kava. So great.
So great. Home of
So
food,
great.
um, good
And
times.
also other places.
And yeah, many thanks to our other sponsor as well, Squarespace. You know,
Ooh, Squarespace. Yeah.
Squarespace makes making websites easy. You can
They
just
do.
go on there and have a professional looking website in less than 1 hour. Upload your own photos, design your own text, and Squarespace will make it happen. You'll even have a mobile interface to deal with. That sounded bad.
Yeah, to deal with. But you know what's so great about Squarespace?
What's that, Jordan?
They're working with us right now, and we're
Wow,
working with
golly
them.
gee, no way. Hot dog almighty.
Exactly. That's what I said the first time too.
And that's our code, actually.
It is. So if you can remember it, because we're not going to say it again, or you
Yeah.
could just rewind. Um,
Nope, no rewinding.
oh, there's no rewinding in this.
You just listen to it once. It's like that Wu-Tang Clan album.
Yes, that one. I remember that. Well, barely.
Mhm.
I could only listen to it once, you know. Anyway, go to Squarespace and type in that code. I don't even remember what it was, but I remember a hot dog. Type it in, and you can get a free sticker.
Wi-Fi. A
And a
free
sticker.
Wi-Fi.
Yeah, a free Wi-Fi sticker.
You
What it
know
will
what?
do? Who
Business
knows? But
idea.
you'll get it.
Wi-Fi stickers.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
I'm gonna stop the broadcast now.
Okay.